high. This is a sequence for your pelvic floor. Really, really good to have a strong and flexible pelvic floor. So we'll start with each sphincter in turn, and then we'll work on the whole of the pelvic floor. I like to think, I say work, but I like to think of this as a meditation, and I'm showing you some very basic postures to access your pelvic floor most easily. But of course you can bring this awareness into your whole yoga practice and make your pelvic floor the center of your yoga practice, and that becomes a real meditation and a real joy. So, although I'm saying we're starting and doing them in turn, it's not a linear, it's not a line, your pelvic floor, it's a web, it's more like a circle. So visualize that expansion in all directions as you breathe in, and then that drawing in from all directions as you breathe out, like your diaphragm, your thoracic diaphragm. So start on all fours, and then bring your head down so that it's supported by your hands, or you could use a cushion, and your hips are higher than your head. And this is the easiest way to feel the anal sphincter, which is also the easiest one to feel. So you're going to breathe in, let it open, breathe out, draw it up. Breathe in, let it open, breathe out, draw it up. Breathe in, let it open, breathe out, draw it up. Notice, keep going. Notice if one side's lifting more easily than the other, or one part, and see if you can access the slightly less strong or less responsive side. And maybe the side that's strong finds it harder to relax on the inhale. So just notice, don't judge. 3 or 4 more, breathing in, opening in all directions, breathing out, contracting, strengthening. Last one, and then come back onto your heels and relax there. We're going to take our awareness down, or up I should say, to the urethra. This is the one that helps prevent urinary incontinence. And although you can do this with your breathing, really we just want to strengthen this area. So I want you to think of it as working more like muscles in a gym, lifting up and down. That's my impression of being in a gym. So up and down, and it's right, so you just keep trying to access it while I'm talking, right at the front of the pelvic floor. It's very near the clitoris, so it feels a little fluttery. That's when you know you've got it. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Like any muscle, you don't want to overwork it, so maybe do 10 or 15. Have a break, maybe 10 or 15 more, and then slowly build up. Good, and then let it relax. Come onto all fours and come up into a downward dog. And again, see if you can feel the anal sphincter here. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, draw it, let it relax. Breathe out, draw it in. Breathe in, relax. Breathe out, draw in. One more like that. And then take your mind to the urethra at the front of the pelvic floor, in and out, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then let it relax, and walk your feet and your hands in together, and come up and stand up. I want you to open your legs wide now into Prasarita Padottanasana. Of course, if your legs are not flexible, you can rest your hands here on a chair, on a bed, on blocks. But if you can reach the floor, then do. To access and lift the pelvic floor, so if you found this really difficult, then turn your heels in towards one another. Just do that now, and you might find as you do that your pelvic floor naturally lifts. But otherwise, have your feet parallel. Bring your head down. You could support your head here, or on the floor, on cushions, or on a chair. And feel the vaginal opening. It's nice and spread here, so that makes it a little harder to work, but easier to feel. So breathe in, allow that spreading. Breathe out, draw it in and up. Breathe in, let it open. Breathe out, in and up. Keep going in your own time, imagining or feeling that expansion in all directions as you breathe in, And drawing up, contracting, strengthening as you breathe out. Three more, opening and strengthening. And then breathe in and look up, relax your pelvic floor completely. Walk your feet in and slowly come up. And then I want you to sit down. I'm going to use a bolster, but you could equally use cushions. And you have the soles of your feet together and let your knees come apart. And then lie down on your back. You could have, if your shoulders are stiff or your neck's stiff, have a cushion or blanket under your head and neck. Wiggle your shoulders down and then let your back relax down on the floor. Close your eyes. And this time we'll be thinking of the whole pelvic floor again. Build up slowly. So if you've just done this for the first time, that might be enough and you can come back to this. You can do this anytime, lying in bed, standing up, waiting for the kettle to boil. But don't do it when you're slumped in the car or slumped in front of the TV, because your pelvis will be at the wrong angle. It won't promote a good alignment of your pelvic floor. So bring your mind back to your pelvic floor and your breathing. And just observe your breathing and observe the sensations in your pelvic floor as you breathe in and out. And then just expanding on those natural sensations. Allow your pelvic floor to relax, to open as you breathe in, and draw it in and up as you breathe out. Imagine it opening like a flower as you breathe in, and then becoming like a bud, drawing in and up as you breathe out. Keep going in your own time, with your own rhythm. Expanding, visualize that flower, all the petals opening in all directions as you breathe in, and then drawing gently into a bud, drawing up as you breathe out. 2 or 3 more like that. And then let your pelvic floor relax completely. Let your breathing find a relaxed, natural rhythm. And observe again the sensations in your pelvic floor. Letting them be subtle. Letting it feel relaxed. And stay here for as long as you can.